Hello students, this is Govind sir, and today we will discuss the remaining topic of first unit, that are transformers, signal conditioning and data acquisition system. In the previous video we have completed the network theorems related to the electrical and electronic circuits. Okay, so these are the remaining topics of first unit. So start with the first one, is that is transformer. So what is the need of transformer? In most cases, appliances are manufactured to work under some specific voltages. Transformers are used to adjust the voltages to a proper level. The transformers are the basic component for the transmission of the electricity. Transformer is used to increase the voltage at the power generating station, that are step up transformer, and used to decrease the voltage, that are step down transformer, for household purposes. By increasing the voltages, the loss of electricity in the transmission purpose is minimized. Okay, so these are the basic need of transformer. But what is the transformer? Transformer is a static device. It transfers electrical energy from one part of electrical or electronic circuit to the other part of circuit without changing the frequency. This is important point, that in the transformer there is no change in frequency. It works on the Michael Faraday's law of electromagnetic mutual induction. Clear? So you can see in the image there are the transformers. If we talk about the past of transformer, the first transformer was developed by Otto Blathy, Mixaderi, Karle Jepronowski in 1885. Further, in 1885, William Stanley makes the transformer more practical due to some design changes and developed a three-phase transformer. The design of William Stanley was first commercially used in USA in 1886. So this is the first commercially used transformer. Okay. So the principle of transformer, it works on the principle of electromagnetic mutual induction. And what is electromagnetic mutual induction? That is, when the current is provided to the primary winding, it behaves as electromagnet. Due to this, the EMF is induced in the secondary windings as it comes in the area having magnetic flux, having magnetic field lines due to primary windings. So the secondary winding voltage is equals to Ns into d phi by dt, whereas Ns is the secondary winding turns. Clear? We have some construction aspects of the transformer. First one is laminated core. So core are designed not to have current in it, but still there is a leakage current or the eddy current present in the core. So to minimize these currents, the core are laminated. Another aspect is winding, made up of copper or aluminum coated with very thin layer of insulation. This is about winding in the transformer. Now we have another tank. The main function of conservator tank of transformer is to provide adequate space for expansion of oil inside the transformer. It is usually cylindrical or cubical. Now another is isolation. It is provided by using synthetic oil between core and tank. So for isolation we are using synthetic oil between core and tank. And the breather. When the temperature changes occur in transformer insulating oil, the oil expands or contracts, and there an exchange of air also occurs when transformer is fully loaded. When the transformer gets cooled, the oil level goes down and air gets absorbed within it. So this is all about the breather of transformer. We have some classification of transformer on the basis of different functions. we have broadly classified in three bases. First one is basis of construction, second one is basis of winding, and the third one is basis of coolant material used. So in the first category, the basis of construction, we have three types of transformer. First one is core type, second one is shell type, and third one is spiral core transformer. If we talk about basis of winding, the transformers are called classified in the three categories. But first one is step up transformers, second one is step down, and third one is isolation. And the basis of coolant material used, we have another three categories. First one is oil filled self cooling, second one is oil filled water cooling, and third one is air blast. So we have three materials which are used to cooling, which are used for cooling. First one is oil itself, and second one is water, and third one is air. So start with the basis of construction. We have core type. You can see in the image, its core has two limbs. These are two limbs. The windings are wounded on two limbs of the core material. This is all about the core type transformer. Okay, and if we talk about shell type transformer, its core has three limbs and two windows. Three limbs and two windows. Okay, and both the windings are wounded on the center limb, one over another. It means these are two windings which are wounded on the central limb. And third one is spiral core transformer. It looks like that. Spiral core transformer. The core constructed is similar to wheels of spokes. The windings are wounded these spokes like structure. Okay, so this is looks like a spiral core transformer. So these all the categories of basis of construction. Now move to the next, that is basis of windings. Very known and popular and familiar categories. Step up transformer. The number of windings on primary sides is less than the number of windings on secondary sides. That is, NP is less than NS. Okay, these are step up transformer. If we talk about step down transformer, the number of turns or windings on primary side are more than the number of windings on the secondary side. These are the step down transformer. Okay, and the isolation transformer, the number of windings on primary side are equal to the number of windings on secondary side. These are isolation transformer. So NP equals to NS. This is all about the basis of windings classification. Now we have basis of coolant. First one is oil filled self cooling. Oil filled self cooling type uses small and medium sized distribution transformers. The assembled winding and core of such transformer are mounted in a welded oil tight shield. Tight steel tanks provide with a steel cover. The oil helps in transforming the heat from the core and the windings to the case, from where it is radiated out to the surroundings. So it is very clear from the figure that there is a welded oil tight shield tank, and the oil helps in transforming the heat from the core and windings. Okay, so there is a material used is oil. Next category is oil filled water cooled. In this type, it is used for much more economic construction of large transformers. The cooling oil is mounted near the surface of the cooling coil, not oil. The cooling coil is mounted near the surface of the oil, through which the cold water keeps circulating. This water carries the heat from the device. So in this type of transformer, the cooling coil is used and mounted near the surface of coil, and the cooling cold water keeps the circulating in it. Okay. And third one is air blast. This type is used transformer that uses voltage below 25,000 volts. The transformer is used at houses. Most transformers that are used at houses are air blast transformers, in which we have some fan or air for cooling the oil. Now we have applications of transformers. The transformers are used to transmit electrical energy over long distance through the wires. Transformers with several secondaries are used in television and radio receivers where several different voltages are required, and it is also used as voltage regulator, and it is used almost everywhere in day to day life. Okay. Now move to the next topic, that is signal conditioning. Signal conditioning is the operation performed on the signal to convert it to a form suitable for interfacing with other element in the system. So this is generally a operation performed on the signal. So we have some categories in signal conditioning. It means we have some blocks for signal conditioning. First one is signal range and offset changes. Signal range and offset changes is like uh, amplification and zero adjustment. Amplification, if we have the lower value signal, low signal, then we have to amplify the signal, that is signal range. And offset changes, it means if you have some value without the input, then you have to set the zero output, that is called zero adjustment. Okay. Linearization is the next category. Linearization means the behavior of the output of the system should be linear with with respect to input, or can say there should be a linear relation between input and output. Okay. We have third one, that is conversion. Lot of conversions can be done in the system, like current to voltage and voltage to current conversions. Another aspect is filtering. Filtering is just removing unwanted frequencies from the output. So these all about the signal conditioning, and it is most important part of the data acquisition system. So let's move to the next topic, that is data acquisition system. Data acquisition system is the process of sampling signals that measures real world physical conditions and converting the resulting samples into digital numeric values that can be manipulated by a computer. So DAS or DAQ typically measures an electrical or physical phenomena such as voltage, current, temperature, pressure or sound, and converts the analog waveform into the digital values for processing and analyzing. So basically data acquisition is the process of sampling signals. Okay. A DAQ consists of sensors, DAQ measurement hardware, and the computer with programmable software. So we can classify the parts of DAQ, data acquisition system. What is the need of data acquisition system? Data acquisition system interface between the real world of physical parameters, which are analog, and the artificial world of digital computation and control. DAQ, data acquisition system, are used widely because they are low cost, accurate and relatively simple to implement. Data acquisition systems are capable of measuring hundreds of variables simultaneously. They are now used by most engineers and scientists for laboratory research, industrial control, test and measurement of input and output data to and from a computer. So industries that are presently employ such automatic systems including steel making, food processing, paper productions, oil refining, chemical manufacturing, textile production, cement manufacturing, etc. So Basic components of data acquisition systems are sensors, which measures physical variables such as temperature, strain, pressure, flow, force, and motion. Motion like displacement, velocity, and acceleration. Another component, that is signal conditioning circuitry, already discussed. It is used to convert sensor signal into a form that can be converted to digital value. Okay, and another one is analog to digital converter, which converts conditioned sensor signal to digital values which can be used by the computer. And fourth component of data acquisition system, that is a computer with the appropriate application software to process, analyze, and log the data to disk. Such software may also provide a graphical display of the data. Now we have generalized data acquisition system, in which we have number of transducers, or can say number of sensors are used at the input, and then we have signal conditioning structure. Then we multiplex the signal. There are a lot of signals, and then multiplex to one channel. After that we have used A to D converter, that is analog to digital converter. Then we goes to the computer part. So the signal can be graphically represented, printed, digital display, magnetic tape, and transmission, and the computer processing. So there is a generalized data acquisition system. Okay, now last but not the least, that is application of data acquisition system. Environmental monitoring, road traffic counting, unattended soil moisture level recording, motor racing, temperature, humidity, and power use of heating, and air conditioning efficiency studies, unattended weather station recording, measure temperature, humidity, etc. for perishable during shipments, and the tank level monitoring. So this is all about applications of data acquisition system. So we have completed our first unit and studied various topics. In the next video we will continue with the next unit, that is unit second. Okay, thank you.